Hey folks, Mac T back again this weekend on another installment of our Facebook Live. And of course, I had a little bit of a delay. I was in an argument with a 7-year-old about the volume on the TV. I didn't think you folks would like to hear Lilo and Stitch in the background. So anyway, we came to a truce and Dad won. Yes, always I win. But anyway, we want to get started with things, and of course, I do want to let everybody know who the new members were for this week. And of course, we had quite a few, and let me see if I can't find them. And we do have Jack Kilmer, Todd Pearson, Gary Mays, Chris Lanier, Brian Ciros, Jamil Burney, Bobby Wilcox, Anthony Yanes, Jack Usabi, Zach Nickerson, Jordan Overby, Joshua Isaac, Parmar Hignes, Michelle Marie LeBlanc, Christy Parks, Monching Gulara, killing names again, Rafiq Syed, Parmar Jagdish, Brent Caro, Henry Medrano. Okay, that's what I got. Anyway, we're going to go and, of course, hit some of the discussions up, hot topics and other things that folks are talking about, and then we'll get into the topic of this this video here that I do have set up. But right now, I think everybody's in, it's summer, it's warm out. Yes, people are out there, and of course, Mano is online on time for once. Holy cow! Everybody put this in the history books. He's all present and accounted for. But anyway, we got Coy. He started out quite a conversation about the gas mileage on his Edge. Folks, I'm just gonna put my half a cent worth in there. Not that it means much to me, but yeah, I never really go by the mileage thing. I pay attention to it. But the way I drive, I don't put money on it, whether it's right or wrong. Some of you might want to keep track on it, but keep in mind there's a lot of variables, and that engine is trying to give you a best guesstimate of MPGs. That's all you're getting out of it. You're not getting actual, you're getting a guesstimate based on what's going on, and that will be part of my hypermiling because that does play into it. So it is a good lead-in topic on all that. But when you fill up, folks, I've dealt with gasoline, I've dealt with fuels in the Navy and tankers, and anybody in the fuel industry would know that pressure, fuel pressure, heat, cold, creates all sorts of ventilation issues. So that's why you got an emission system on your Ford Edge to take care of those pressures and vent those pressures into your engine rather than emitting them out into the air and breathing them and all this other stuff. And that's really what's going on there. And of course, really hot weather makes for a lot more pressure. So, that's part of the whole deal. Gas expands and contracts quite a bit. And when you fill up, at what time of day you fill up? Do you fill up in the morning? Or do you fill up in the heat of the afternoon? Makes a big difference. It also makes a big difference how much gas you get in your car. So fuel time, morning is best when it's cooler. You actually get more gas in your tank because the back pressures may prevent you from filling it all the way up, even though you think you filled it up. So there's some issues that go along with that, and I will just put that there. Let's see. I've been having a hard time keeping up with all the stuff here. Thanks, Ian Nathanson, for letting me know that I posted in the wrong group. Yeah, trying to keep up is sometimes difficult when I'm trying to do other things, like I was editing a video, monitoring you guys, and getting ready for this, so it gets crazy. But anyway, Ryan, you got that key fob thing figured out. It looks like that's where you set your key at, just in case the batteries die. And let's see, Andrew Jewett finally made it. I guess he's I must have woke him up from his slumber on his sofa. Anyway, we got some, and we got Frank Haddenden. He bought that salvaged, what was it, 214 Ford Edge. And problems will arise from a salvage if it has a front end accident like that. You'll have to do shakedown tours with it. Yes, you'll have to drive it, and of course things may fail later because that was quite a jar, and everything got rearranged, even inside the engine. So, hopefully you get all the bugs worked out and get everything taken care of. But, keep driving it. And as far as that is not a leak. That is a seep, okay? A leak was when it's dripping, okay? Seepage is when it's wet. Yours is seeping enough that it might give an occasional drip. But, a leak is a leak as far as I'm concerned. And that is a seep. You're not losing enough. Your fluid ain't down. So I'm going to tell you, Frank, you're probably good to go on your trip. But do schedule an appointment to get it fixed. It should not be leaking, right? I got 200,000 miles on my Edge, and of course I have no leaks underneath. Yeah, so it's all about taking care of it when you find it. But let's see. I know you all saw the water pump video, and I did put out the cutting part first. I figured I wanted to get that out of the way so I could concentrate solely on the evaluation of the water pump after it was cut. So, basically I threw that in there, and I will throw a complete video of the water pumps being cut up in a lots, in their entirety. That video will come out, so if you like to get mesmerized by a water jet machine cutting, I'll throw a little music on it. I did speed it up to 4, I think at least 4 times faster than it does run, just so that you don't get completely bonkers watching it. But I'll throw some music in there, and you guys can watch it cut the water pump in a little higher speed fashion. But it will be showing the entire speeding process. I just didn't feel that I got a little more inventive with the with going back and forth between shots. So. But that is the part that I wanted to get out of the way so I could concentrate on that. So rest assured, next week, by next weekend, the evaluation of the water pumps will be posted online. You guys will see that. And then I hope I don't scare you all when you see what goes on. But yeah, it's interesting. All I can say is wow. But that's the way it is. You got to take care of them pumps, and I'll tell you how to do that and try to make the best bang out of your buck for what you do. Seeing those pumps has made me change my thought process on coolant and oil, is all I can tell you. So we'll keep it at that. Sorry, teaser, yeah, but we'll get it out there. Anyway, what else we got? We got Nick Roy. He's, I guess, he's going to start lathering his Edge with peanut butter. I'm not sure what the deal is there. Wish him the best of luck in that. Neighborhood dogs will love him. I can see that now. Peanut butter all over the side. Every dog in the neighborhood will be licking his Edge. But anyway, yeah, that's quite a deal. I'm sure the oils in the peanut butter are like most other oils. Of course, they'll adhere and absorb, and of course will make it more lusterful. Yeah, any oil, oil is oil. So it is a natural organic oil, so I can't see it being harmful to the finish in that aspect. So if it works, it works. Go for it. It's probably cheaper than buying the stuff they sell on the shelf. Let's see, we got folks buying gas, complaining about gas. Now, let's see, what else? Jonathan David Green came up with a great use for the old pizza boxes. Who would have thought? Yes, life hack, folks. Throw the oil pan on top of the pizza box. It keeps your oil filter and everything else all neatly there, prepared, ready to go, and it catches any errant oil spills. So yes, got a good use for the pizza box. So thumbs up on the pizza box, Jonathan. Thank you so much for that little tip. that definitely will help folks in the future if they got extra pizza boxes laying around. And, you know, that's if you order pizza, I guess. But, hey, there's another reason to buy a pizza. And let's see. Frank, you put out a post about buying a Dodge on a Ford Facebook group. What did you expect, right? Anyway, yeah, we saw that one coming, didn't we? But anyway, as I have been a previous Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, Eagle owner, I can tell you in my younger years, I probably spent more money fixing them than I did buying them. So that's where I left off on that. Got out of that mess here pretty quick. Just never found a transmission out of a Chrysler product that was any good. So anyway, we're cleaning the screens, and Bill Bell apparently has an army of 3-year-olds with ice cream on their fingers touching his touch screen on his Ford Edge. And of course, I'm going to tell you what I use, guys. That's what I use. Yes. You buy it at Walmart. It's eyeglass cleaner. And this. Yes, a microfiber towel. Cleans it up real good. If it's good enough for my eyeglasses, it's got to work on the screen. And the stuff isn't harmful or anything. So, you know, it's basically almost a water, but it does clean good. And the microfiber towel, I use it on my camera lenses. So if it's good enough for a camera lens, it is good enough for your touch screen. So, you know, and besides that, here's a hint, folks. If you go to Walmart and buy this and you use it up, you can go get it refilled for free. At least that's what I do. So, think about it. Anyway, yeah, that's what I do to clean my lens. So there's my little tip for y'all. If you want to buy that stuff in a microfiber, works great. Dennis, he's got his Ford Edge caged up apparently. At least it looks like it. Got some serious security measures going on there in Russia. Anyway, he's got it all caged up, and of course he's got that black cat going on there. Then let's see, Gaten Coat. Wow, I don't know where that noise dampener went, but it's definitely not on there anymore. You know, you got a picture of it there, and it's missing. And by the looks of it, it wasn't on there very tight. So I'm going to assume it was not properly cinched up when the brake job was done. So it's gone now. It just wiggled free. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. You can throw another spare bolt in it like I did in my video when I broke the bolt off because I got confused on which way was lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. And that was completely my fault. Yeah, amateur mechanic 101 right there. Break the bolt off. I got her off though. I tightened it right off. So anyway, that was definitely taken care of there. And I found another bolt and just threw another bolt in it. But if you're on the road and you're going down the road, you know what? I would get under there and just wire that sucker so it didn't plop out or anything. And that would probably get you by until you got to someplace to get a bolt or a new pin kit. And by the way, folks, I do want to tell you, you can also get those low frequency noise dampeners not only for the 2011, but the 2007 through 2010. They do have the kits, and you can buy them and retrofit your Ford Edge for the first gen with those low frequency noise dampeners. So, you know, feel free to do that if you want. They're not that much. They used to be more expensive, and now I think they're getting down to about 15 bucks. So, you know, it's not a real expensive thing to do to get some quieter brakes if you're having some issues there. Now, what else we got here? We got a lot of different things going on. I will say, folks, that I have found that the alternator video that I did is really picking up steam on the YouTube, and I can only imagine that the only reason that is happening is because there are more edges out there now, and they're getting older, and now we're starting to see some more failure points, such as the alternators failing, and folks, of course, are researching and trying to figure that out. Hey, Frank, how you doing? And we are trying to make sure that we get everything taken care of on the alternators. Okay, so I've got lots of videos on that, on how to determine what to do, how to replace the alternator, and also batteries and everything else. So that all goes together. There's multiple videos on that, so just search it out and you'll see all sorts of videos on that part of it. But yeah, I do see an uptick in that, so I can only assume that more alternators are starting to fail, especially probably in the first gens. The 1.5 is probably not immune to it, as mine was not, so they do fail. Let's see, what else do we got there? We have Nick Roy. He polished his tips on his exhaust system, and you know what? As far as I can tell, Nick, if you were closer, I'd just drop my edge off, let you polish those tips on my exhaust system, because I tell you what, they're nasty, nasty. I don't even know if you want to touch them. But they do look good. I gotta admit that. They do look nice and shiny. But that might be something I might try with my wife's edge, but with mine, I'm probably just gonna drive her. That's all I'm gonna do. And of course, lots of other things here. Let's see. We did talk about getting parts, motorcraft parts, brakes. Brakes are always up there on the list. We had several folks doing brakes, and I forget who it was that did it. My gosh, who was that bought it? He just bought an edge, and of course he took in Ryan. I think it was Ryan that bought the edge. He had to do brakes on it right away and stuff. And as with all things, when you buy a used edge, you may have to put some money into it right away. So make sure you plan on that when you do buy that edge, and all the fluids too, folks. So lots of work to do there. Let's see. We got lots of things going on. We got Keith. He's gotten a problem with his edge. And of course, he put the pedal to the floor and was hitting his brakes hard and not paying attention, folks. Yes, we call that distracted driving. I do a lot of training on that, and I think we're all slightly guilty of that. Okay, gotta pay attention to where you're going, what you're doing. I do not want any one of you to be a statistic. And matter of fact, speaking of driving, distracted driving. I got to go rework my distracted driving course that I teach, and the test questions, because I had that. So for my job, yeah, it's always changing. So, going up there. But I will tell you that here's a safety note, folks. Distracted driving is now taking the lead as far as the number of causes for traffic deaths over DUIs. That ought to tell you something, okay? DUIs have now taken second place. So, that's a lot of folks texting and not paying attention. And, it ain't worth it, folks. It just ain't worth it. Anyway, let's see. Cool water, hydration needs, and all that good stuff. We're going to make sure it's very, very hot. I did post a picture of my caps on my that I de-chromed, and I will tell you, folks, that it took about a gallon of bleach in about 2 weeks. Those were some heavy-duty chrome caps, but they are now plastic. I have taken a heat gun and melted the tabs just a little bit to push them outward, so they are seating in very tight now. So I am going to paint them and put them on my edge, and I will have matching caps to cover my wheel nuts on my edge. And then, of course, those who have noted that I need to cover them up will, of course, be happy. Let's see. Frank's got no tickets in 6 years. That's a good driving record there. I don't know. I think I've gotten a ticket or two before. Now let's see. When is the last one I got? Gosh, spilling the beans on myself here a little bit. It's been 4 years. 4 years. Yeah, it's been about 4 years since I got my last ticket. Before that, it was 10 years. So maybe I got another 6 to go. Let's hope. I drive slowly, folks. Yeah, that cop was mistaken. There's no way I was going that fast. Anyway, his radar needed to be tuned. That's all I can tell you. Anyway, energy efficient driving. Manaran, he did post up a little bit on energy efficient driving and techniques. So if you want to read where I posted I was doing this Facebook thing, he does have that posted up there, so you can read up more on it, and of course get that all taken care of. Let's see. Well, okay, Frank got his ticket on a Harley. I guess I don't have a Harley, so we're going to leave it at that. Let's see. Ryan was changing oil and brakes and everything else. We had a traffic accident. The vehicle is fixed. So Jenny's Sail is back on the road. Her Edge is now up and running. Only thing I can say, Jenny, is there's something missing on your Edge. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but once I started looking at the pictures, I realized that you don't have a MACT sticker on it. Anyway, it does look good. The body shop did an excellent job. And of course, what else do we have here? Don't want to go too terribly long on this. Kevin Messner is taking his new camera he got and posting some excellent pictures, and I will be starting to use a few of those on the banner here. Of course, posting those up, but they are excellent, and he's got the equipment to help him move along with those photographs. So our resident expert musician, photographer, multi-talented guy. And then of course Nick Roy, you got the best thing on there. Man, you got the little guy looking underneath there. That is a classic photo. Love it. I just love that photo. He's cute as a button too. So excellent photo. Him looking underneath the Edge. Let's see, what else do we have? We had Joshua Isaac has a rattle or something. Joshua, all I can tell you, and I know we addressed this in text and everything, is to get in the back of the Edge, have somebody else drive it, and then try to hunt down the noises and try to narrow it down to either inside, or if you can't get it from the inside, then you're going to have a harder time because you got to figure it out from the outside. But I will tell you one thing. If you got noises, folks, yeah, what are these? Yeah, you can clip it right onto anything. And you can put it up underneath your car. You can twist it around. You can find noises with these things. Or you can beat off somebody with a stick or something. But yeah, you can defend yourself with this thing too. So anyway, you saw my latest video with my Ford Ranger. I used this camera underneath the Ford Ranger to watch the suspension that was broken. So this camera I use for a lot of different things, and I even got suction mounts and everything else that I can use, and I plan on doing that in the future. But that is pretty much what you got to do in order to find those noises that are going on in there. Let's see, wheel bearings. Seems a lot of people are replacing wheel bearings. So yeah, get those wheel bearings replaced. Yep. If you do one side, do the other. Make it even, because the other one's probably going to fail anyway. So you want to make sure that whatever you do, you replace them in pairs. I have always replaced them in pairs. And here's a thing. Well, I don't got any real wood here, but knock on wood, folks, I'm nearing 200,000 miles, and I am on the OEM wheel bearings. I have not had a wheel bearing fail yet on my 2011, and that is a godsend as far as what I was going through on my 2008. That thing thought wheel bearings were breakfast food. Yeah, the first gen loves wheel bearings. So I know I've said that before, but anyway, that's pretty much it on that. We're getting way down into the weeds here for the last week or so, but I guess we're going to cover up here on the other part of it, and that was hypermiling. Okay, I know I've covered a little bit of it in my foreskin videos and other things when driving. Now, here's why I am saying hypermiling. What does it do for me? Now, Mano, he does hypermiling. I think Adam or one of the guys is doing hypermiling. The thing is with hypermiling, the 2007 through 2010 had a different engine, a different fuel management system in a lot of ways. Okay, they implemented, because one, EPA issues, Ford changed the engine from a VCT, yes, remember, variable cam timing, yep, to a TI, twin independent variable cam timing. So now we have the independent timing has changed. The fuel management, PCM, injector sensors, and everything else dramatically changed in 2011 plus. The engine changed, and so did the fuel management programming. Okay? Now, it used to be at the old Edge, say, follow me, say you're driving your 2007 through 10 Edge. You're coming up to a hill. You go down the hill. You take your Edge, put it in neutral, engine goes down to engine idle at 700 RPMs. Go down the hill, you use the brakes, and it's running at 700 RPMs all the way down. Not a problem. Okay, you're still using gas at idle though, right? It's going down, down, down. Just gasoline as you're idling. Now, as you're doing that, okay, then try it on your 2011 plus. You go up to the hill, you go down, you put it in to neutral, 700 RPM. Okay, here's the problem. The first gen goes down the hill 700 RPM. Now, if you don't know how much fuel the consistency is, a 700 RPM, let's say the Edge uses anywhere from 0.6 to 0.8 gallons per hour in idle. That's at a 14.1 to 14.7 to 1 fuel air mixture. Got me on this? 14.1 all the way down the hill. 14.7 to 1 ratio. That is your lambda in your PID, your parameter ID and your Edge for the foreskin. Look it up. Your lambda is what they call it. It's a stoichiometric fuel air mixture. Okay? You can monitor both of them for both banks. If you don't believe me, pull out the foreskin and run it, and you'll see what I'm telling. But now the first gen's going down the hill, 700 RPM. It's still using the same amount of gas. Granted, it's less because now you have the engine disconnected from the transmission in neutral. But keep in mind, that can cause problems also. Okay? But it is also dangerous to do. Okay? Some states, it is against the law. So, Stephen, yes, I'm already ahead of you on this. Yeah, you're ahead of me, actually. I haven't got to that part. But there are rules against this, too. Driving law. You have no power. You hit the gas, nothing happens. So, that's the danger part of it. But here's what I'm getting at. You put it in and leave it into gear, folks. You take your 1.5 on up, and you leave it in gear. Here's what the fuel management system does. You're going down the hill, yeah, going down. The fuel air mixture goes from 14.7 to 1 to 28 or 29 to 1. What's it doing? It's adding more air. It's cutting the fuel off on the engine, and it is actually using less gas going downhill in gear than if you put it in neutral. It actually will use more fuel in neutral cruising down the hill than if you left it in gear, because now the engine is taking the input. You've removed your foot off the gas. Now what it does through the EPA and fuel management on all the 2011 pluses is it cuts the fuel and it changes the mixture. So now the mixture, even in town, if you watched your instant fuel mileage, this is what's happening. And you can see it on your forescan too. When you see your fuel mileage, say running, say 15, 16 miles per gallon, then you let off the gas and then it shoots up to 40. That is what it's doing, folks. It is cutting the fuel to the engine and allowing it the transmission to drive the engine to keep it running and giving it just enough fuel to keep it running. Just barely enough. And with the engine and everything engaged, it is creating this hypermiling without you doing hypermiling, if that makes any sense to you all. The only next best thing you could do is turn the engine off, but that's crazy, right? Now your steering wheel's locked, you have no power or anything, no power steering, so don't do that. But let the engine save the fuel. Now in the first gen Edge, don't necessarily work that way, okay? So it may be on there, I'd have to check it more, and you guys can verify whether I'm up or down on this, but that is how the system works. So your stoichiometric changes, and then you get better gas mileage because you're using less fuel because the injectors are leaned out, and therefore you're not getting as much fuel pumped into the engine and you're using less fuel. And that's why your hypermiling is going to be more difficult to do with a newer generation Edge than the old generations. Okay, so the fuel is very key to everything, and of course, let's see, Mano's posting some more aggressive information, but there's more to this hypermiling than you think. You know, anybody, if you own a first gen Edge, I will tell you, I found a difference. And here's the difference. When you let off the gas on a first gen Edge, it just rolls and rolls. It'll even start accelerating down the hill if you let off the gas. On a 2011 on up, when you let off the gas, other things happen along with this hypermiling, you know, the cutting off the fuel. Guess what else decides, hey, I'm going to join the party? That is your alternator. All your other things the alternator will turn on and say, hey, the battery really needs a lot of juice, so I'm going to crank it up while you're decelerating. And what happens is all these devices and components that are also attached to your Edge will take advantage of your kinetic energy and rolling downhill or letting off the gas to charge the battery, run the AC, do everything it has to do to economize on the kinetic energy. That's why when you get a 2011 plus Ford Edge, like I figured out, I thought something was wrong. When I went down hills, I actually slowed down. I didn't speed up. I thought something was wrong with my Edge. So that is the difference behind it. It is making use of your kinetic energy. It's cutting your fuel down. It's doing all this on these 2011 pluses that the first gen Edge did not. So just keep in mind that there's a lot to this, and to the new parameters. You can verify what I'm saying because I've watched them on the forescan, and that is exactly what's happening on the 2011 plus as I watched what was going on. And I really do wish I would have had forescan back from my 2008. That thing probably would have just scared me to death if I'd saw the PIDs on it. But anyway, the hypermiling thing, folks, pretty much that's an old school thing in a lot of ways, because these new engines are designed to take advantage of deceleration and acceleration in a very, very efficient way. And if you don't believe me, you guys can also get out, hit the interstate or something like that. Accelerate exceptionally hard, wide open throttle, and if you were to watch any of the PIDs on your air compressor, you would see, or your air conditioning compressor and all this other stuff, you would see they would shut down to allow more power to the engine. Yes, all sorts of neat things happen when you accelerate. The PCM gives everything else a timeout and allows the engine to, of course, achieve its maximum horsepower for that need at the moment. So that's how that pretty much works. But that is what I was talking about on your hypermiling, and while it generally will help maybe the first gen owners, the 1.5 and on up, even the 15 plus, it ain't going to help you all because they have implemented these fuel management systems for deceleration, acceleration, and everything else. And of course, it will give you the best mileage you can get without having to play games by putting it in neutral and all that other stuff. And like I said, check your state laws just in case, you know, you want to make sure you're doing it safely. But, you know, it really isn't a wise idea. I never really did hypermiling. I just drive. But, you know, that is how I do it. And, of course, that is what I want you all to do, is just drive carefully and safely, right? That way we can all see each other the next day. Anyway, we got lots of vacations going on, and, of course, checking our edges. The heat is out, folks. If you do have a weak battery, if you have a weak AC system, if you have anything that is weak in your Ford Edge, this upcoming hot weather will show you where your weakness is on your Ford Edge. Your battery will die. So if you got a weak battery now, might as well just plan on getting a new battery, folks, because the heat and the cold are the two biggest enemies of any car battery, and you want to make sure that you do, of course, watch what you're doing with the car batteries on that. And what else was there? Oh, that ain't too much else going on. You know, I do have and have been given the sticker guy special orders already, okay? So if you do not like, yes, if you do not like red or white, there is an additional fee to them, but I can get you other colors. I will say that I think the last colors that I had ordered were Harley orange. So what do you think? Is it going to go on a Harley? I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be next to Harley something. So anyway, yes, you can get them. Just let me know. But the current stickers I do have, of course, are less than 50 now. They're like 40. So, you know, I'm not going to buy any more until these, of course, are sold and gone. But just PayPal, in my YouTube channel, you can just hit that. It's right there in the upper top right-hand corner, little PayPal symbol. You can do that. Or at the top of this pinned posting on Facebook, you can, of course, click on that, and it will take you there. $5 for the stickers, folks. I just want to get them sold because I do want to use the money to see about t-shirts. I do have my resident artist working on the back logo design. We're going to use the MACT up front, so we're going to wait and see what she comes up with for the back, and then I will start looking at getting some t-shirts printed up, and we can go from there. But other than that, I'm having a great day. So anyway, this is MACT, and of course Facebook. Yes, you guys know that. Join up on this Facebook channel, and of course we'll get you introed in a special way. And then of course YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube and hit that like button, and of course watch all my new videos, at least one a week, maybe 2 or 3 sometimes, depending on how bored I get. And then of course we got my feet on the ground, and they did hit it, so I am having a great day, and I want you folks to have a great day too. And with that being said, of course, on this YouTube video, you will of course see some fantastic music and maybe a bit of bonus footage at the end. You never know what I'll post up there. But before I go, is there anyone that wants to ask me a question? Let's see. Yes, everybody says t-shirts. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Okay, folks want Mano's face on the t-shirt. Oh, wow. I value my life. I don't know about you guys. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Let's see, I was looking at the door side light that you installed, and I saw some on Amazon for $50. Is it worth it? They look nice. Now, I'm going to tell you there, Frank, just buy LED lights. The laser lights, even though I promoted them, they are all destroyed now. The laser logo is destroyed by the heat from the laser, and they've peeled back, and all they are is just light now. So just go with a LED lighting system, and you'll be fine. I wouldn't spend 50 bucks on them. Just buy LED lights, or you can, watch one of my videos where I rebuilt them and put a LED light in them. Yeah, light with the Ford logo. I wouldn't do it, Frank. They destroy themselves. At least the ones I got. So, might better off just getting LED lights from DriveBright.com or something like that. A real good guy that runs that thing. So go to him and do that. But yeah, the laser with the logo, mine are all destroyed. They didn't last but a year, then they're dead. As far as the logo, they got light, so I got laser light burning holes through the concrete, but I don't have any logo or anything. So yeah. Anyway, I think I'm gonna let y'all go here. It's been almost 45 minutes. I don't want to burn up the rest of your Sunday, and I gotta get this video out. So that being said, you of course all have a great day, and I'll see y'all later.
Thank you for watching MACT's videos, and remember to like and subscribe. This is a Mercy Go production.